Hi, I'm Edsel Taylor. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Balclutha, New Zealand. I've been living and working as an English teacher in China for 4 years. There's a long and a short version. I'll give you the medium version.
Alright.
So there was a foreign teacher working at a school here, and she asked if I wanted to go play badminton one time. And like I play badminton. I said, yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
She said she was going to bring her friend Elaine, who I thought was another foreign teacher. And then when I got to the badminton hall, I found out Elaine was quite a cute Chinese girl. And so we played badminton about once a week on a Sunday for all the time. And that's how we first met. But I don't know, living in China as a foreigner, I think a lot of Chinese have like a misconception or a false perception that foreign guys are handsome. And so there's always Chinese people saying, "Oh, you're handsome. Oh, we should go out and whatnot." And I kind of learned to ignore it. And so I wasn't really thinking too much about a relationship or anything. But then over the weeks, she kind of lived in the same direction as me, and so we'd talk for a while as we walked sort of as far as my house, and then I'd turn off and she would keep going. And slowly got to know each other better and better. And then one time, I found out that she was Christian as well.
Wow, okay.
Which for me, that was a big important thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of Chinese women aren't. Well, Chinese people, I should say.
Yeah.
So after that, I found out she went to church regularly, and so I started going to church with her as well. And then the big turning point, I suppose, was one Sunday, instead of going to church, I went and played football, and I sprained my ankle really badly.
Yeah, I've seen you play.
I've sprained my ankle a few times, but this was a special one. And so I was at home, and she asked, "Oh, why weren't you at church?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, I sprained my ankle." And she came round to see me and kind of make sure I was all right. And then later, there's a bunch of us all going to the movies, and so I asked if she wanted to go too. And kind of, I guess things were kind of starting to brew then.
Yeah, you had that whole sprained ankle story already set up, huh?
Yeah.
I saw the blueprint. You drew a blueprint of it and had the whole thing planned out, huh? But it worked out.
It was worth it, that's for sure.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, some funny little things, like after there's a group of us had been to a bar and we were walking home, just me and her, she asked me, "Is there anyone that you like?" And I said, "Oh, maybe, but I'm not sure yet." I was meaning her. She felt like, "Oh no, he's got someone else." But then later, like the main start of the relationship was after we'd known each other for 4 months or so. I called her one Friday when I had some time off, asked if she wanted to go to coffee, and so coffee at Starbucks became dinner and then a movie.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth gradual build-up, right?
And then from there we were dating. Well, of course the big thing was her parents sort of have to agree. Coming from a big family, it was easier for her because she's got 2 sisters and a brother. If she was an only child, I think her mum wouldn't have agreed to let her only daughter marry some foreigner and disappear away to the foreign. But as far as doing the actual marriage certificate stuff, I had to get a certificate from New Zealand to say that I wasn't married in New Zealand, so that there was no sort of
proof.
Yeah,
no trickery involved.
Yeah. And then once I had that, it was just a matter of going to the capital city of her province, to the marriage registry place, bring that, my passport, and some money, and marriage certificate done.
Good. Did it take a long time for the certificate to come?
No, like you go there, it takes about half an hour.
Oh, and they just stamp it on the spot?
But they you have to translate the New Zealand document, and that requires a translation fee. But yeah, it took about half an hour, I think. The certificate side is really quick and easy.
Yeah.
The wedding side is not quite so quick and easy. Well, the engagement in China is different to how we do engagement. I mean, when I did propose, I did get down on one knee. But in the Chinese system, when I went back to her hometown for Chinese New Year, that kind of counts as being engaged.
Official.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And she did tell me, because we'd already decided that we were heading in a marriage direction. But when I was going to go back to her hometown, she told me before we went, look, if you go back, you have to marry me, because if I take you home, everybody's going to know.
Yeah. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so that's completely different to New Zealand culture as well. Like, New Zealand, you do the ceremony in the morning, and then wedding photos during the break in the middle, and then you have the reception in the evening. Here in China, they take all the wedding photos about a month, 2 months or more before the wedding. So you go to a studio that specializes in wedding photos, and you get to choose, we got to choose 6 outfits. And you go some location and you take all these wedding photos where you're holding each other and running in the sand, looking all happy, looking married, long before you actually are. So we kind of had almost 3 separate parts to the wedding. The first one was we went back to her hometown, which is normally done after, but for convenience we went first. And her parents organised a banquet dinner where her cousins and aunties and uncles and grandparents could all go. And we had a banquet lunch dinner at her hometown, which that counts as sort of a wedding in China. A big meal where everyone comes.
Yeah.
That was cool because my family were already in China, and they were able to go to her hometown and see sort of country, rural China.
I'm sure that was an interesting experience for them.
Yeah. Quite different to the cities.
Yeah.
So that was the first part, and then we came back here, and yeah, like you said, we did a Western style ceremony in the morning for like close friends and family, which you were lucky enough to be a part of.
Yeah, that's the best man. Yeah. One of the best men.
And that was partly because Elaine always had wanted to get married sort of by a lake or something, and so it was more convenient to do a Western style thing in the morning because we've got like a big lake down that way. So we did that, and then in the evening we had the Chinese style, which was more food than anybody could ever eat.
The dishes kept coming out. I do remember.
My Kiwi friends were amazed. They thought like this is all the food, and then it just keeps coming and it keeps coming, and eventually you got stacked 3 high.
At the Chinese weddings, though, another thing is you and your bride have to walk around each table and do what?
Yeah, so part of the tradition, you have to go to each table with a glass of alcohol and cheers, and then everybody drinks. Ours wasn't so bad because there was only 10 tables, so it's only 10 glasses.
You're
and
drunk
also,
by the time you finish.
Yeah, plus you can cheat a little. So especially for bigger weddings and even moderate-sized ones, it's sensible for the staff at the restaurant to help you out, and they make like a 50-50 mix with like say grape juice and wine.
That's a surprise to me. I would have called you out if I knew you were cheating.
Yeah, well, that's what you don't let anybody know. You pull the face, pretend that it's a little bit nasty. But yeah, for safety's sake, you drink sort of weaker strength alcohol.
Got you.